Hey yo folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Card Hunters. Card Hunters is it's really hard to describe exactly what it is. It's sort of a D&D tribute slash tactical board game slash card game slash I don't know what it is. It is free to play, and it's on the web. Go to cardhunter.com. You can sign up and play. It's currently in open beta, but it's in pretty damn good shape. It's stupendously fun to play. It is made by some of the staffers from Irrational Games, the people who made BioShock, and Richard Garfield. Richard Garfield is the person who invented Magic the Gathering, which is still the daddy of all collectible card games, and something I was a huge fan of for a really long time. So I've been following the development of this game for some time, and I've really been wanting to try, and I finally got some time to do it, so I'm going to play. There are two modes. You can play in a multiplayer type setting, which is going to be head-to-head against other players through a variety of different means, but we're going to focus on the campaign side, the single-player campaign side at this point. So very similarly to a couple other games that have come out recently, it comes off as very much of a Dungeons & Dragons tribute, to the point where a lot of the art is very retro and reminiscent, as well as the name of some of these adventures here, like the Keep on the Hinterlands, for example. I'm going to plunge directly into a game, and then we're going to talk about some of the more stuff you can do on the world map here. So I'm going to pick an adventure I haven't done yet. This is the Wizard's Workshop, and we're going to go and play this. This is a level 2 adventure. I'm going to move in here with my party. And so you've got this character at the top who's talking to you as if he's the game master running the game of Dungeons & Dragons. But the art on here, this is the box art for the adventure, so retro Dungeons & Dragons, just beautiful and brilliant. We'll read the description and then we'll get started. So the hedge wizard Aloizo has asked you for help. It seems his recent mechanical creations have gone haywire, attacking anyone who steps foot inside his tower. He offers to reward you if you will rid his home of the out-of-control golems and ornithopters. Will you climb the forbidding stairs to the Wizard's Workshop? It's got 4 deadly battles for levels 2 to 3. Now, I'm a party of 2 level 2s and 1 level 1. This might actually be a little bit difficult, but we'll see how it goes. And let's begin the adventure. So I've got a party of 3 people. I have a pizza delivery. 1 extra large pizza with tofu and pineapple. You're welcome. Sorry, I mean thanks. Oh, he's shy around girls. Of course he is. So, you know, the campaign's got a few little storylines. We'll talk about this pizza mechanic later on. But the pizza basically represents the real world money that you can spend on the game if you want. I love metallic monstrosities bar your way. What unnatural sorcery is this? So I love the art design in this game. It's actually very similar to an art design I was going to use to make a sort of a roguelike game, where you've got these things that look like it looks like a board game and tokens that stand up. In fact, I might still use this art style for something. Of course, now everyone's going to accuse me of stealing the art from Card Hunters. That's just life. All right, so it's a hybrid card game and board game. So we're going to go through in this battle, and then we're going to talk about some of the more mechanics. I have 3 characters here. On my turn, I can play 1 card. Each one of these characters has a handful of cards associated to them. And that includes using a card to walk around, or using a card to bludgeon, or do a simple strike. The block card here and also armor cards are very unique in that you don't play them, you keep them in your hand, and when you get attacked, they trigger more or less automatically. So these golems here, I would really like to engage with my dwarven fighter, get him in the front and start tanking some of the damage. I've also got my my wizard, who's really good at firing range attacks. Right now she's definitely far out of range. What's annoying with my my dwarven fighter here is he walks very, very slowly, because dwarves are quite slow, as opposed to my elf, who's quite quick, which is great for running away from danger, but you know, it sucks that my melee guy walks so slowly to close in. I'll go ahead and play a walk card, and I will move him up into the middle. Now it'll be the other side's turn to play some cards. So the golems are moving forward. The dungeon master, Gary, is moving the cards, moving the tokens forward on his action. These 2 count as a group, so they move together. So it's a little bit dangerous because they move a little bit faster, but we'll see what we can do. Now, I don't have another movement card for my dwarf, so he's going to be here until the round ends. That happens when I can pass if I don't have anything I can do. And if the other person also passes, then it starts a new round. We draw some new cards and hopefully get that back up. I think I don't want to run up with the wizard, although she could potentially move up 1 step, wouldn't be too bad. My priest has a half-decent number of hit points as well as some melee attacks as well. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and move her up 3 over here. So they're taking another walk action over there. They've closed in on my priest. So now I've got a few things that I can do. So if I right-click on any of these cards, I can get extra descriptions. So for example, Simple Strike, it's simply a 3 damage melee attack. It's got a range, it's got a range of 1 over here. Well, you can see when I highlight it, it turns a certain set of squares red. That shows the range that I can attack. So I can attack either golem with that. Bludgeon is exactly the same, except it does 4 damage instead of 3. And I've got Righteous Frenzy, which is a really fantastic buff. It only lasts for 1 round, but it gives +2 to melee damage during that time. However, I can't cast it on myself. I have to cast it on an ally. So right now what I think I'm going to do is just bludgeon the leftmost golem. It's probable I'll have to fall back with my priest relatively quickly, but you know, we'll see how much we can do this round here. Okay, now this person has armor of 2 of a bludgeon, or male armor of 2. So if he had succeeded in his roll on his card, he needs to roll a 4 or more on a 6-sided die to trigger the armor. Then that would have reduced the damage slightly. But it didn't, so it took the full 4. Fortunately, they are bludgeoning me back at this point. I could go ahead and expend the Simple Strike. Or, you know what I think I'm actually going to do? My Force Bolt here. It only does 1 damage, but it's got good range, but it also slides the enemy back by 1 square. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to Force Bolt one of the golems further away from my cleric. His mail didn't trigger, so he still took damage. I'm not sure that if the slide back or not would have happened if he'd eliminated all the damage. Not positive. Anyway, let's go ahead and Simple Strike. I don't have to target it this time. There's only 1 target. Oh, his mail did trigger, so he took 2 points less damage, which is not terribly impressive. He just passed. He's got no more cards to play. If I pass, then we'll start a new round. We can do some drawing. And, well, I may as well use my, my short Spark over here, which is apparently hard to block. These guys have armor, not shields, but shields, here's an example of a shield here. This can completely block damage. Let's go ahead and use the short Spark, which did get mailed, so only 1 damage went through, but he passed again. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Now, you have to discard. You can't have more than 2 cards in your hand, so I'm going to have to discard 1. I will probably discard, let's say, the Simple Strike. Throw that away. Now, each of my characters will draw 1 movement card plus 2 additional cards. So you're guaranteed to always have at least 1 movement card in your hand. We'll see how these quote-unquote decks get constructed. My wizard got a really crappy set of rolls here in that she's got all movement except for 1 big zap. Now, big zap is cool. It does decent damage. Range is a little short, so I'd have to move up first to do that. I do not have a heal spell on my wizard. I've got Unreliable Block, which can block anything, but only on a die roll of 6 or more. So only a 1 in 6 chance of actually pulling that off. I've got an Unholy Friendly, which is like Righteous Frenzy, except it lasts longer, but it does deal 1 point of damage when I cast it. Now, I think what I'm going to do is drop that on my dwarf and then get him to unleash a couple of attacks. My priest may take a beating, but I think we're going to be okay in the end. So yeah, let's Unholy Frenzy the dwarf. In fact, I think I might give him both types of frenzies. Hopefully they stack. So yeah, took 1 point of damage, now he's frenzied. Well, that is a big bludgeoned over there. Actually, what it might be time to do is dash out of there. Actually, I'm not sure that she can do a full dash because of the way she's flanked. I think she's only going to be able to move 1 square away. Oh, wait, that's my wrong character. Run. Yeah, I'm not actually going to be able to escape. Although I could move off to the side so only 1 of the 2 golems could attack me. Not that it matters. They use the exact same card pool. I'm trying to decide. I cannot currently kill this. Oh, actually, I might be able to. It depends on if how much armor he's got. We know he's got the male armor for sure. So it's got a 50-50 chance of lowering the damage by 2. So right now, I'm looking at doing 7 plus twice the Unholy Frenzy. So that's an extra 4. So that's 11 damage. And there's, statistically speaking, 2 will get warded away, which will bring it down to 9. So there's a pretty good chance that I can kill him. But there's a 25% chance that both things will get blocked by his armor, in which case I will not kill him this round. Or instantly, rather. I suppose I'll still be able to move up and zap him. Just because after I kill them... Oh, no, we know they've got no more attacks. Oh, we're totally fine. We know for a fact they have no more attacks. Never mind, I have nothing to worry about. So what I'm going to do to make sure that everything dies properly this round is I will go ahead and put Righteous Frenzy. This is just with melee attacks, right? Yeah, melee. So I'll put Righteous Frenzy on my dwarven friend here. So he'll get double Frenzy. Presumably, I hope. Oh, they're using a walk to get away. Now that's really a little annoying. My dwarf does have a walk, and he will be able to get adjacent to both guys, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and take the walk. And again, the duration on the cards are for the actual rounds, not these individual turns. So I've got more than enough time to do this. I will then take my wizard here, and I will go ahead and move her up so that she's in range for the big zap as well. It's got a range of 2. So I can do the, actually just a walk to here will be fine. We'll put them both in range. Okay, so again, he's going to skip his turn because he's got nothing to do. So I will drop a big zap on the guy who's hurt, and then I will know how much to dedicate from my dwarf. No, it did get mailed. That's kind of annoying. So he's got 6 life left, but I'm going to add +4 damage to whatever I'm doing. So even if he armors it, then my bludgeoning will kill him. And actually, I've got the penetrating cut, which I believe ignores all armor. So either way, I will be able to finish him off. I'll go ahead and use the bludgeon. Actually, no, I should... Yeah, both frenzies do trigger. That's excellent news. He did block. We'll finish him off. I'm probably messing up the math, which wouldn't be a terrible surprise here. Let's go ahead and use penetrating cut against the last guy. With double frenzy. 7 points of damage, very nice. And unfortunately, I cannot finish him off. What I will do is move back with my cleric to right behind the dwarf to make sure that I can't be hurt too badly next time. We'll go ahead and pass off discard one of my movement cards here. I'm going to get rid of shuffle since it's worthless. It's very bad. We'll see why I have those cards in my deck soon enough. He's going to cast Clumsy. Attaches the card to yourself. You cannot turn to face the target when attacked. Huh. Interesting. Attach this card to yourself. You got tin golems. Why would he play that? I must be missing something. Trait. Like, I don't know. Maybe it happens automatically. I must be very confused. I must be missing something obvious. I haven't played that much of the game. Oh, I love Violent Swing. Does 10 damage. But when you play it, you discard the oldest card in your hand, which is the one to your furthest right. He's got 7 health. Even if you block some of the mail, the Violent Swing will kill him. So we'll go ahead and do that. And actually, I've got the Frenzy going on as well. Love that spell. So it's going to be 12. It does get armored off, so it only does 10, but it's still more than enough to kill him. And we can move onward from this point if we want. I guess we'll have to finish this entire adventure. Oh no, I'm still holding the tip. The pizza delivery girl must think I'm a real jerk. Oh, these stories. So the once elegant room is now ruined. The golems have been reduced to a pile of scrap metal amongst the debris of the fine decor. You leave the piles of scrap metal for Aloizo to clean up and climb the 2nd tower level. So I'm going to go ahead and return to the map at this point. And so we'll discuss some of the actual mechanics. So if I go to the keep on the hinterlands. Oh. Yes, I will abandon the adventure. You get your real reward at the end of the adventure. So by doing this, I'm not getting any loot, but that's fine. We can deal with that. So it is an online game, so every now and again there's a little bit of a wait while it syncs with the server like that. So here is here's my keep. This is my personal keep, and here are the characters in my party. I've got Azulgo, the dwarven fighter. We've got Makar, the elven mage, and Melician, the human priest. So they have item slots. Right now we only have 4. My dwarf can carry 2 weapons at once. He's got a slot for a shield. He's got a slot for boots. Each one of these slots has, or not the slots themselves, but the items come with associated cards that get added to your deck. A very, very interesting mechanic. So as you complete the adventures, you open chests which give you more items. Here's some spare items I have around. So for example, right now I have the Rusty Shield, which gives me a weak block, which has actually a pretty good chance, because 3 or more, so that's going to happen 2/3 of the time, to block any damage with 4 or less. The Flimsy block also happens relatively frequently, but blocks only very tiny attacks. Both these flimsy blocks are pretty weak. So let's compare the Chipped Shield. This gives me one weak block, again, same stats, and then 2 unreliable blocks. I like them because they can block anything, but they are unreliable in that they need a 6 or more. So I think that both of these, well, this is a level 2 common shield, this is also a level 2 common shield, so neither one of these are terribly impressive. So what I really need to do is find a better shield, a higher level shield or a rarer shield, and that will hopefully have better block cards associated to it. Here are my boots. I'm quite happy about getting these boots for my dwarf. So my dwarf, because he's a dwarf, has the walk ability in there of move 2. And again, at the start of every round, you're guaranteed to have one movement card in your hand no matter what. So assuming you have nothing else, your dwarf will always have walk in his hand. But the fact that I've got these boots on here, now the armor is not fantastic. It's got a 50-50 chance of triggering and blocking 3. Whatever. But it does give me the dash ability, which is movement of 4, which I like a lot for my melee characters. Over here, I've got Kobold Killer as one of my weapons here. It's actually a level 1 rare weapon, and it comes with the Violent Overswing, which I like a lot. Discarding, I'm totally okay with. For, a flat 10 damage is stupendous. The bludgeons are fine. The simple strike and the weak strike is particularly bad. I believe the Golem Cleaver, well, this is the one that gives me the penetrating cut, so they do a little bit less than the bludgeon attack, but they do ignore armor, which is really, really cool. Unless the armor would prevent all damage. Okay, that's interesting. It's got the stab as well, and what's interesting about stab is it's got a range of 2. And Able Bludgeon, which does 5 damage. Now, some of these, I think the axe will have the chop attack, for example, which lets you hit 2 targets, and it's still limited to adjacent targets. But frankly, even if there's just one enemy, 5 base damage is pretty good. I think, I want to get rid of the Kobold Killer, except I would lose the Violent Overswing. And gain, more weak strikes, and the weak chop is really, well, I guess all of these let you hit multiple enemies, which is really, really nice, except for the weak strikes. So, it's a mix. My wizard over here has a slot for a staff and 2 slots currently for arcane items. But again, this is based on their level. If I exit here and I go into multiplayer mode and I go to the multiplayer keep here, in multiplayer, I believe it looks like they equalize your level. Basically, all your characters are guaranteed to be max level, and then you can see all the item slots that are there. And each one of these slots automatically gives you a certain set of cards. So these Dwarven skill slots, for example, doesn't include some cards for free in there, but they're pretty bad. But you know what? I've got a martial skill slot, for example, and I have a martial skill. I haven't been able to use it yet on my character, but we can drop it in there. And actually, as I hover over it, it'll tell me what skills it replaces as well. So you can see at a glance, but it'll unlock Bruiser. This is a trait. You attach it to yourself, adds 2 damage to any bash you play. Well, that's great. So like actual bash, the simple bash count. So this is going to be what, use, let me reset my thing over here. So what, use more clubs? Well, these don't say bash. Melee crushing. I'm actually not sure about how that ability works exactly. Oops. Return this card to hand or reattach after it triggers. Curious. But you can see there's quite a lot of slots, and each one of those can be customized with an item that tweaks it a bit. Now, my dwarf, I don't think can ever use a staff, because that's magic-based type thing. But, my wizard could. And then it becomes a question of, do I equip the same staff twice? Because I really want to rely on having lots of sparks, for example. Or do I want to put in this violet staff instead, which is going to add some penetrating zaps for cases where I need to ignore armor, for example. So it does have a deck building element mixed in with this sort of role-playing element of itemizing your character. And what's fantastic is at the end of every battle or adventure, you do get chests, which have a certain amount of guaranteed stuff. There's also this chest shop ability. So I can actually, apparently, spend gold. So gold you get from completing adventures. Well, gold you get from selling items. So you complete an adventure, sometimes you get items. Most of these are not worth tons of money, but sometimes you'll get items that are just purely worth money. They're not unequipable. So you get some gold. So let's open one of these. I'm low level, so I guess I'll open the level 1 to 8 one. Actually, does it matter if I'm in campaign mode or multiplayer for that? I'm not sure. There's still a chest and barrel store. There we go. All right, simple chest. 2 random items, level 1 to 8. Good. I guess it's keyed to my level, probably. So let's go ahead and crack that open. And this is the same sort of chest you might find when completing an adventure. The difference is this is going to be 2 actually purely random items, whereas a lot of times when you're at the end of an adventure, you're guaranteed maybe a rare or something like that. So that's what we find. Oh, so we got a level 7 common shield. It comes with 2 weak blocks, but those are actually pretty good. They've 3 or higher, so 2/3 chance of triggering. Block 4 or less, that's really quite good, and gives me a jump back ability. When targeted by an enemy attack from an enemy in front of you, move back 2. It's the Coward's Shield. And I can use it now, even though it's above my level. That seems to be totally fine. That's cool. What is this? Ooh, level 8 uncommon arcane skill. So I have not unlocked the arcane skill slot yet, so I can't use it yet. But this is a level 8 ability, so I assume by the time I reach level 8, I'll probably have it. But Dimensional Traveler, attach it yourself. Start of each round, you move 1 teleport. Oh, for free. I think. Yeah, I haven't played with these traits yet. Spark Inductor. More damage from electrical attacks. Well, that's going to be very, very cool. Anyway, so chests are pretty excellent. Now, you may have noticed that some of these chests are bought with gold, and some of them were listed as... How do I... Take all and reset. There we go. And so these are buyable with pizza. They have more items and a lot of rares or epic. So pizza is the real money component of this free-to-play game. And is it pay to win? No more than anything else. All the items that you get in here, you can get through just completing adventures. Now, I think, yeah, see, these reset daily. So there is a maximum number of campaign adventures you can play. But there's also the multiplayer component, and there are rewards to be gotten from there. So you can get all these epics and whatever by actually playing the adventure, or you can pay, or you can pay to buy pizza slices. Actually, I guess we should take a look at this screen. So how much do pizza slices cost? Well, the smallest amount you can get is the 330 pizza slices, which would be good for 11 of those medium chests. The ones with the guaranteed rares, yeah, 11 of these. Or only 2 epic chests. So that's for $10. Now, you know, how much have you paid for skins or items in Dota or different things like that that are purely cosmetic? These are not cosmetic. They accelerate the pace of your game. They don't necessarily let you win, but they do accelerate your pace. Let's not deny that. Now, there is also something very interesting. We're going to come back and talk about this basic edition in a sec. There's also this, the Card Hunter Club. So for 300 pizza slices, which is, you know, about $10, you can be in this club for 30 days. Or if you want, you can spend, I don't know how much, 2,900 pizza. So you're looking at maybe $75 expenditure. You get it unlocked for an entire year. So there's more of like an MMO style of expense. The Card Hunters Club gives you a few things, but one of the big deals is whenever you open a chest, I don't know if it's an adventure or just whenever. I don't know if there was an example for it here, but whenever you open a chest, you get an extra item. Or whenever you open a chest where you're guaranteed a certain level of loot, whatever that level of loot is, you're guaranteed another one. So let's say I was part of the Card Hunters Club and I opened a magnificent chest, which is guaranteed to have 1 rare. Then I would get an extra item, which would be guaranteed to be a rare as well. So you get more loot a little bit faster, which does mean this particular basic edition level is not terrible. It unlocks more adventures, which I didn't realize there were adventures that were locked away. I haven't seen those at this point. Like if we go back to the world map, you can see there's a lot of the world around here. It is extraordinarily large. So there's a lot of room for some adventures with interesting storylines, different monsters with different mechanics you're going to face. Right now, all of these, the only ones I've played, they're all low level ones. They do more of them become exposed as you level up or complete the stories. And so presumably some of them may be locked away with pizza slices at some point. So in my opinion, I feel like these prices are too high. I honestly do, because I was excited. I was having a lot of fun with the game, and I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind unlocking a few more items and speeding things up, or going for the club membership. But $10-ish for 1 month. I don't know. I mean, shoot, I've paid more than $10 for a game before that I've only played for, a couple of weekends or something like that, and that was fine. I think, there may just be a mental block. I don't think it would be a bad idea frankly, if you're going to play it at all, you may maybe do it once. I'm not sure. The other things you get in the basic edition are the extra figures, and you do get the pizza slices as well, 100 pizza slices, which would be good for a few chests, for example. What do the extra figures mean? Well, these are basically skins, and I've mostly seen that in the multiplayer come up. So I've got the Cuthbert's costumes here, for example. If I load this up. So I've got my dwarf figure here, and this is and I love these sort of blister packs they've got going on there. Well, you can spend pizza to unlock a new figurine for my dwarf. I'm not sure if it has any significant differences. I don't know what this means, just because I haven't explored this this aspect of the game clearly at this point. So, but you can swap out your figures, and that's kind of cool. So if you want to unlock a bunch of them, you can get that basic starter kit, or you can buy them individually with pizza. There may be other ways to get pizza. I'm not sure about that. The other thing is when you play in your multiplayer, they do unlock some extra bonus rewards over here. So for winning your very first multiplayer game, you will get a chest that will contain one rare or better item plus 3 additional random items of any particular quality. So that's cool. And then for your second win, you get some more items. Third win, you get another container with some more items, and so on and so forth. When you get to your 20th win, which is, I mean, multiplayer games of online, these are not going to take very long to play out. You can get a guaranteed epic item. Now, eventually you max these all out, but that's okay. So, every time you get a win, you get a new reward. And, maybe there's more to this chart, maybe there's not, I don't know. And yeah, there's more little shops where you can buy items with a gold. And again, I can sell most of these are just going to be worth 1 gold. This one is level 3 rare, which is worth 5 gold. But, oh, this one's worth 20, level 4 epic. But again, sometimes you'll find items in your chest that are not equipable. They are entirely just something that you're going to sell for gold, and you can get a lot done with just the gold stuff. So let's go ahead and play another mission. It's too bad I left that one unfinished there. I probably have to restart it, won't I? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Should we try level 3 and see how it goes? I'll probably get my ass kicked. Let's give it a try anyway. If we lose, it'll be funny, right? The lair of the Trog Wizard. In the deep holes beneath the troglodyte cave, a mysterious chanting can be heard. Are the rumors true that the troglodytes are led by a foul enchanter? Discover the truth in The Lair of the Trog Wizard. So I think you can increase the difficulty or somehow tweak these adventures later on, probably when you're higher level, so you can go back and replay some of the lower level ones. There's only 2 battles in this one, so it'll be a little bit shorter to play through, which is great. Can you pass the soda, please, Quill18? Diet soda? Ew, who brought that? Hey, man, I drink diet soda. I mean, yeah, it's full of chemicals. They're only like the most well-tested chemicals in the history of human consumption. And they're better than poisoning myself with sugar. Ambush. Monstrous humanoids leap from the shadows. To arm, noble adventurers. So, different map this time. It got difficult terrain as well, right? These stones, they're difficult terrain. They end your movement when you enter them. So, for example, I've got a dash here on my wizard, but if I were to step into one of these rocky areas, that would be it. It doesn't matter that I've got 4 movement for my dash. That's the extent of it. I do like the fact that I'm also in the middle of the map this time. Line of sight also plays into things. So if I mouse over the actual character itself, either here or here, you can see the actual line of sight that I've got. So it's blocked by these walls, for example. But you can see through difficult terrain. Facing does matter, in that if you are able to hit someone from behind and they can't block with a shield, characters will automatically face whoever they attacked most recently or whoever they were attacked from. But if you can flank someone, if someone is in, say, this square here, and you can have one character on the right and one character on the left, then this monster will attack one of them. So you have the other one hit him in the back, the monster will turn around, then you have your other character attack at that point, hit him in the back again. And that's a pretty good way to deal with people who have shields. Now, these trogs are a bit of a pain in the ass because they do have scuttle. Whoop, 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 whoop. It only moves 2, but it's a free move, which means that they can dodge next to enemies and get around them pretty easily. And these trogs tend to do pretty well because in their decks, they do seem to be equipped with these spears. Most of their attacks have a range of 2, so they're really good about scuttling backwards and attacking, and then you move forward and they just scuttle backwards again. It's very, very frustrating. So, but we may be able to get this Trog semi-pinned over here again. So they do have the scuttle ability, so they'll be able to deal with it pretty easily. But we'll do what we can. Again, my wizard is very squishy. Only has 9 hit points. So we got to keep an eye on her, but she's in a relatively decent position. I'm going to go ahead and walk into this corner and see what I can do. Again, this is level 3 adventure, so that might be difficult. We'll see how it goes. We're going to get a bit surrounded. There he goes. He's scuttling away. We've got a Force Bolt, which only does 1 damage, but let's slide people back. I'm not sure that this would... It'd be nice if I could hit him and move him next to the dwarf so that my dwarf could attack. I can dash. I can spark, which does 2 damage. That's hard to block. There's some value in that. I think what I might do to start off with is run in. Come on. There we are. A little bit of latency on the server. It is in beta, still being developed. I'm going to run up and see what he does. He's going to stab my dwarf. Again, range 2. My dwarf currently doesn't have any defensive abilities, which kind of sucks. Actually, almost wish... Oh, if I'd been able to move my wizard somewhere, I may have been able to force bolt someone into my dwarf. He does have the violent swing. It'd be really nice to lay it out on someone, but my dwarf is not in a position to do anything like that at this time. My priest can hit, though, so what I think I'm going to do is I'll start with a simple strike and see what kind of defenses they have. Probably just armor. Oh, tough hide. They rolled. They failed their roll. So they take full damage. Spear thrust. Oh my god, my poor dwarf is being beaten to snot. So we know they've got the tough hide, and they've got 1 other card, but they might be out of attacks or movement at this point, which does put me in a pretty nice situation. Let's go ahead and bludgeon this guy again. If he doesn't get his defense off, we'll actually kill him outright. Tough hide does not trigger. Oh, good. Okay, this battle is going to go fine. It'll be interesting to see what the second encounter is going to look like. So I can have my priest walk a little bit more, but I don't think there's much point in doing that. My wizard... You're a wizard, Makar. Can walk up here and just plunk at this dwarf a couple of times. And that's probably fine. Especially since she can slide him back once, it's going to make... What the... Oh, he had another stab. Check the battle log here. Predictable stab. Oh, right. If it gets blocked, you take damage back. It actually reflects damage, but otherwise it does pretty good damage. Speaking of damage, 4 is a lot. I might be placing myself at risk. But you know what? I can unload both Force Bolts. Good. Does damage. Knocks him back. Hit him with the Spark. And then I can just dash away again. Oh, these guys are horrible at using their hide. So then, yeah, I will just go and dash to... perhaps here for line of sight and protection next turn. I don't think my priest has to walk right now. I think I'll just save that card for extra options. And I guess I'm not doing anything with my dwarf. That's really quite a shame. So we'll go ahead and pass this turn. I have to discard a card. I'm going to get rid of the simple strike. And then we'll draw some more cards. They will go first. Just because, like, the way the turns go, right? They pass, then I pass, then it's their turn. So they move. Whereas if you pass first, there's always a risk, right? If you pass and then they attack, well, that sucks. But if you pass, then they pass, then you get the first crack at all the new cards. Now, he used his movement over here. He may not have any other movement cards over here, which is certainly what I'm hoping for. I will go ahead and walk forward with my dwarf here, and then I will probably Righteous Frenzy him. Actually, I won't have to do that. I can just Violent Swing, assuming this guy doesn't move. If he does move, I may be able to stab him. So what you going to do, buddy? Oh, this guy's going to scuttle. Oh, they both scuttle because it's a group thing. Damn it, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. I might as well use the stab. Because why not? Fails his roll. Wow, those tough hides are not working out for these guys. Predictable stab over here. That is a lot of damage, but we're still okay. I do have a line of sight on this guy. I could spark him and Force Bolt him. That won't kill him, though. So I could walk up over here, but what's the point? I know, I suppose I may as well get up in his face. And then I may as well hit him for as much as I can. I could also dash over here, but I can't kill either one of them, so let's go ahead and hit him. I don't think the Force Bolt will slide him, but I'm curious to see if it will. Fails his roll again. Well, I'm getting really, really lucky with the defensive rolls. Oh, there we go. Block that one outright. And that's duration of 1. I think it's still there next turn. I'm not sure, actually. We're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and Righteous Fury myself. Oh, I can't. That's right. It's very annoying. Cancel that. Let's just pass. You know what? I'm going to get rid of the Righteous Fury. Oh, I got to start over here. Get rid of the weak strikes. And Righteous Frenzy. Yes? No? Oof. Definite lag. Come on. Discard the card already. There. Good. The game is programmed in Flash, as it appears, but they've done a wonderful job. I think it looks beautiful, brilliant. They're doing some scuttling. And, oh, it's Ranger 2 with the big zap. I was going to say, can I hit him? I got to be careful with my wizard here. If I get too close, he could probably kill me, like hit me for 5 and just finish me off. And that would be unpleasant. I have no attacks on my priest, which is really annoying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to force them to burn a scuttle up over here. I mean, I know they can scuttle either way, but I just don't want to move my dwarf yet. So yeah, let's just use a walk to get up over here. Scuttle. No scuttle away. Good. They might have another scuttle, in which case he wouldn't have any attack, but I feel relatively confident that I could probably finish him off now with my dwarf. So I got to move up first. Hope he doesn't have another scuttle. Well, if he does, that means I could dash forward with my priest, or my wizard. Okay, he doesn't, so we should be able to finish him off with a wild swing, or violent swing. So he blocks it, but who cares? You know, massively overkill him. Fantastic. So he's got, oh, 2 tough hides in his hand. Well, that's very good to know. Because what I want to do is I will scooch forward with my cleric. Just to make room. He's going to have to pass again. He's got nothing to do. Then I can dash forward with my priest. And I should be able to kill him with the big zap. Even if he blocks once, he's still dead. If he can block twice, then... Nope, he failed the first roll. Failed the second roll. Finish him off with the big zap. Victory! Onward. So we'll see if we get any rewards for this particular fight. Hey, Quill18, have you eaten all the Junior League Chew? Wow, that was fast. The Trogs appear to have been protecting a small cavity in the wall containing a variety of disgusting objects considered precious by these subterranean monsters. Tossing them aside, you discover a few useful items that can be salvaged once cleaned. So yes, we'll collect the loot this time. So you can, and yeah, they always show you what the club reward will be as well. So common staff, commons, this will be another common item. But they try to convince you. Oh, it's pickled herring. This is not an actual weapon or equipable. This is something that, again, is just worth money. So, copper mace, that's another cleric item with more righteous frenzy. Violet staff, which I already had one. That's a cleric item. So not particularly impressive. But if we finish the next quest, there should be a decent reward. Troglair 2. You reach an unpleasantly warm chamber lit with flickering a yellow glow. The final cavern is the sanctuary of the dread Trog wizard known as Cruddyup in his own tongue. The evil creature stands inside an arcane symbol etched in the ground with a mysterious glowing substance. Cruddyup sneers as you approach and barks a harsh order to his guards. The fray is joined. Defend yourself! Alright. For levels 2 to 3, hopefully we can pull this off here. Trog wizard, Trog Spearman, 2 Trog Scuttlers. This is a lot of numbers. Trog Wizard utters a vile incantation and makes obscene gestures at you. He will pay for his audacity. So what is this magic circle? I can right-click on these things to get information. Oh. Doesn't appear to be anything. Alright. Bones, that's difficult terrain. There's an actual pillar. If I mouse over, you can see the pillars block some line of sight. Got a Force Bolt. Alright, slides them back 1 damage. Actually, not even anyone in range for that. I'd have to move up. I might pass the first turn and let them move forward first. In fact, I'm definitely going to do that. Scuttle forward, yes. So, I only have the slow walk. Oh, so the walk's going to be enough. Actually, they're still not in range to attack. And they do have a lot of cards. They must have something. They must have another... Oh, yeah, they have at least... movement cards over here. Right. Well, Scuttlers, I'm just hoping they don't have another Scuttle. I guess I will go ahead and walk forward with my fighter. If need be, I do have the stab for the extra range as well, if they only scuttle forward one square back. course, they can stab me as well, and I have no defenses right now. But I got a fair number of hit points at least. I have Righteous Frenzy. So let's go ahead and unload that onto our dwarven friend. Again, some more spear thrusts, which sucks, but... Alright, we're going to start off with the Simple Strike. So this should do 5 damage. And again, even if it gets tough-hided, we're going to be okay. So it's going to be overkill. Well, let's go ahead and finish this guy off with a stab anyway. Oh, well, it could get tough-hided, that's true. Oh, it did get tough-hided. But it doesn't matter. Ooh, strong stab. That is a lot of freaking damage. And that's the problem. Like, I got lucky with the fact that they never resisted anything last time around, but they can do a lot of damage to my people. And that's the Spearman, which is probably higher. Well, starts with more health, right? He starts with 10 health instead of just 7, so he's clearly a stronger character in general. I could force bolt this guy, push him back. Actually, that's what I should have done. As soon as he moved forward, I should have pushed him back out of spear range. Still got 1 card left. I will go ahead and do that. Anyway, because it'll probably help going forward. Oh, it does have to be directly away. And shoot! Okay. So I didn't realize that it has to be directly away or more directly away. Maybe I should have moved over here and pushed him back. The fact that my dwarf is dead is definitely a problem. On the other hand, I could move towards the wizard, since he is relatively squishy and probably a tremendous threat. It'd be nice if I could dodge line of sight. And I can. See, I can mouse over him and see all his line of sight. So if I end up here, I will be out of line of sight of the wizard. And then next turn, I could potentially move out and snipe him. Alright, so he did that. He's only got 1 card left. Just have to decide what, if anything, I'm doing over here. I think I'm going to run to here. Ouch. Yeah, I may just lose this fight. At least I got some items and some XP or something, I'm not sure. I want to pass, but I think I'm going to move first. I expect him to pass. It would be nice to get the first move, though, but either way, I'm probably going to have to waste an action walking, so I'm going to do that. Actually, shoot, I probably should have moved over here, because I'll probably be in pretty easy range there. What can you... I will go ahead and walk forward with my wizard, because some of her stuff is range too, so let's get in range for that. And we're just going to try to alpha strike down the wizard before he does anything too deadly, one hopes. He's going to run back slightly, but that's okay. Telekinesis is a really fun spell. Lets you move anyone 2 squares. No, I did not... God damn you. Did not mean to actually finish casting that. No, why? I didn't even click on her. I right-clicked to get rid of the spell. God damn you. That is so not what I wanted, but I guess it'll save her a move. I don't know, let's go do that. So our goal was to kill the wizard. We don't have a lot of damage dealing, though. And he makes his tough hide roll. I'm probably in really, really big trouble here. Although, actually, what I should just do is move back. Like so. Ah, you can't reach me, can you? Ah! Blocks the spark completely. Alright, let's pass. We're certainly in trouble, but we might be able to recover. Ow. You know what? I'm just gonna... Oh, this is really annoying, because I'm hoping he moves forward, but I don't want to move forward right now. I want to let these guys walk forward at me. If he's got another spark like that, I'm going to be in big, big trouble. Because I want these guys to move within 2, and then I'll big spark them to finish them off. Although this one's got 9 health, so I guess that's not going to be doable. How do I do this? I think I might just have to block with the cleric. No, she's more or less going to have to be in melee range anyway. She's got the one unreliable block that might help out. Let's see what happens. Depends on what kind of stuff they've drawn. Spear thrust. Block fails. Alright, let's shuffle forward. Let's see what they do. Come on, block the strike. Oh, if she could block the stab, it would have been stupendously good. All right, let's hope the his armor doesn't trigger so we can actually finish him off with the big zap. God damn! Uh-oh. All right, we're dead. Let's see if we can take out the wizard. As long as he gets another bad roll. Good. Well, that's something. We might actually be able to kite these guys with range. Especially, there's a pillar over there. There's run, and they have cards left. You just have to stay outside of stabby range. Like that. Passed. We'll pass as well. It will give them first move, but they shouldn't be able to actually hit us. And the wizards are fast. And now, you don't have to take this fighter, wizard, cleric configuration. You do when you start off with, because those are the first 3 people you get for free. But you could end up with an all-wizard party, for example. That is certainly a possibility. I'm going to force bolt this close guy. Push him back. And this time it will work. Unless it doesn't work if he gets... Oh, good! It always works. Fantastic. So, we need range 6. Well, range 6 is really long. So I can safely dash to... oh, he doesn't... They don't have a move and a stab at this point, so I can easily move here. I wonder if I should go into the circle. I have no idea what it does. We can spark the guy in the back who's almost dead. Well, let's try to trim down the numbers. Double tough hide is certainly a pain in the ass. I don't know. I thought there was a way that forces them to discard it. I might be wrong. Maybe they can just stack that stuff. Pass, pass. We might, if we pull this off, it's going to be amazing. There you go. We'll force bolt him back so that he'll be out of range again. And then I guess we'll spark the only guy that we can spark. Then we're going to save that extra dash. Interesting. But he can't hit me from here. Well, we definitely will move back now. I wonder what he's saving. Oh, I don't know what it was, but he discarded. Oh, it was a run card. I'm gonna scuttle forward. I would love to just go for the spark and a kill, but I can't guarantee that it's going to go off. Luckily, so both these are going to be pretty good range, so I should be able to hopefully dash back to here. He's going to use his run, but he can only go so far. He had to go around the debris field here. Alright. Actually, I should use the short range one, because it doesn't really matter either way. Damn. It'll still... No, I was going to say it'll still do 1 damage, but I guess it won't. Spark. I think we're going to pull this off, thanks to mobility and range. Oh, but this is really annoying. It's going to take forever. Alright. I might be getting boxed in here, but I don't think so. Because the AI is trying to keep one square away. If they actually came right next to me, there'd be a good chance that I could get completely boxed in. Weak armor is handy to have around. Little Zap is range 2, though, which I cannot afford. I don't know what else they've got in their hand. If it's an attack, they're going to kill me. So I got to dash away. I can safely move here because he can't scuttle. I mean, he's either going to be able to move or attack. And this is out of range of their attack, so I can safely move there. In the middle of the circle. He's got... Oh, these are two separate people. I forgot that this was the spearman and not the scuttler. Okay, this is bad. I was not thinking about that. I forgot about that completely. He's got 2 cards. Almost certainly one of them will be an attack, which means almost certainly I will die. I guess I've got no choice but to try to zap him. So he's got no defenses. Okay, the armor roll worked, thank God. Take 2 less damage. That was a strong stab, which was what, base of 5? Which will still bring me down to 3 and kill me. Oh, well, it was a good try. Don't worry, you can lose 3 times before you have to restart the adventure. Oh, wow, I get to go again? Oh, this video is way too long already. Get a hint. Yeah, no, I'm totally doing that. Anyway, I think that'll bring us to the end of this video. But I'm going to keep playing this game. I think it's great, great fun. I think the PvP will be absolutely exciting. There's several of my friends that I think should definitely give this game a try. Again, I feel like the cost might be a little high, given what you get for the items. But what a fantastic, beautifully put together game. I really think it's top notch in terms of the play, the mechanics. It's got a lot of room for longevity by introducing more items and more kind of card mechanics, new classes. There are only 3 classes right now. The fact that they come in the 3 racial variants does actually mix things up considerably, because there's a massive difference between, say, a high hit point, slow-moving dwarf and a low hit point, fast-moving wizard. And then the human who's a little bit behind, but potentially gets some sort of like planning moves. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but some very, very cool mechanics. And I give the game like a very, very, very high opinion in terms of how the game was designed. But of course, I mean, you get Richard Garfield involved. Obviously, it's going to be brilliant game design. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.